And so, unfortunately, we've got to talk about some people that won't be ready to play when it comes to the Cleveland Browns and the Dallas Cowboys. This reporting came out today, and it was from Adam Schefter. As you can see right here, Cleveland is expected to leave Nick Chubb on the physically unable to perform list, which means he's ineligible to be active during the first 4 games of the season per league sources. Also, take a look at this. Ian Rappaport also tweeted. He said the Browns planned for Nick Chubb to begin the season on the PUP list back in the spring when they restructured his deal. Here's how. Most roster bonuses require 17 games of active duty to earn the full amount. Chubb's deal is a very rare exception, requiring only 12 games for him to do that. So, as you can tell, if you're reading the tea leaves and you're looking at this, it looks like the Cleveland Browns had already planned for Nick Chubb to be out during the first few games of the season. And if you're listening to G. Bush, there's a couple of things I've been right about already in this show. One of them is I told you that Deshaun Watson wasn't going to play. And a lot of people were like, you crazy, you're the Duke and knee jerk. And the Duke and knee jerk, it may sound like it's crazy at first, but as you come around, I'm like the candy. You either mess with me now or later. And later, I seem to be right. I'll also give you this. I told you from Nick Chubb, I heard people saying he's Superman. He's part of the Justice League. He got bionic legs. He's the strongest person that they know mentally and determined. His contract, he got to get that money. I told y'all all the same thing. I'm only telling you stuff that I know about personally. And I tore 2 ACLs. I tore my ACL, my left knee and right knee. And I did it all within an 8 to 10 month time frame. And one thing that I'm telling you is he already went through knee surgery. Now, I'm not claiming to be an orthopedic surgeon. I just know how it is to have your knee drained a whole bunch of times. I know how it is to go through rehab. I know how to do all that stuff. I get it. And one thing I told people was, your ligaments don't care about your heart. Every player has heart. Every player is determined. Some players are more determined than others, but for the most part, all players got a certain level of determination they're going to get back. And when you tear your first knee up or you have your first major surgery, everybody is ready to get back rearing and just biting at the chomp to get back. But ligaments, they don't care about your heart. They don't care about your willpower. They heal on their own time frame. And I know what it is to come back and try to do that. Now, Nick Chubb is a better athlete than me. I'm not saying that Nick Chubb ain't. But also, Nick Chubb wasn't a defensive lineman. As a defensive lineman, I move forward, back, left, and right. It's more like an analog joystick like you playing Miss Pac-Man. Nick Chubb is a first-person shooter on PS5, right? He's playing PS5. He's playing Call of Duty. And he got to move left, diagonal, up, down, right trigger, left trigger, do backflips, and still be able to hold on to the football, not worry about getting hurt, and avoid people, run people over, and do everything that he needs to do, which makes him great as Nick Chubb. That wasn't going to be happening week 1. I could tell by the way he was just running. I just see it because I've ran that way. Right? Running straight and cutting is 2 different things. Not to mention he had already had a bad knee injury prior to that. So, I'm not saying I told you so because I'm happy about it. I would like to see Nick Chubb out there, but I thought the Cleveland Browns did exactly what they were supposed to. They were protecting Nick Chubb. They protected him from himself. And now you can use Nick Chubb as a person that is going to be a spark plug. As a matter of fact, it might not even be 4 weeks. It might be 8 weeks. It might be 8 weeks before he's comfortable. And you already got to think about it too. That's if there's no setbacks. The main problem with the knee injury isn't that he's going to tear it up again. That's not what the thought process is. It's the tendinitis. It's the swelling. It's trying to make sure that there's no setback in terms of, is your knee swelling or do you have any irritation? Can you practice day after day? Go ask Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley was one of the best backs in the league. And I'm not saying that his knee is the same as Nick Chubb, but every time you have a surgery, there's going to be some level of deterioration. Like, don't tell you, like people tell you modern marvel, oh, modern medicine. Listen, how many surgeries you done had? That'd be cracking me up. People ain't not had one reconstructed knee surgery. Talk about modern medicine, bro. You still got the knees you was born with. Mine ain't the same. You still got the cartilage you was born with. My vertebrae, my ligaments, my MCL, all my CLs, ACL, MCL, PCL, they ain't the same. And anytime you get that football, and anytime they cut on you, the orthopedic surgeon will tell you one thing. It's nice to say that, but it's a different thing in practice. Everybody heals at their own rate, and I'm not taking that away from nobody, but let Nick Chubb come back at his own time. Don't rush the man. And listen, if you have to have Nick Chubb at 100% at the beginning of the year for you to make the playoffs, then you wouldn't deserve it to make no playoffs, because the Browns should be talented enough to withhold and to withstand one person missing on this squad. And then remember what we talked about. You're at a different level now, right? We gotta evolve the way we think about the team. We can't just be sitting here thinking like, oh, we need all hands on deck and everybody got to play an A+ for us to win. Ain't it? Some games you have to rough it out. Some days it's gonna be special teams. Some days it's the run game. Some games Deshaun Watson gonna have to play well. Some games Jerry Jeudy gonna have to make plays. Some days it's gonna have to be backups. Like, when you get to a point where you got veterans at every position, now it isn't about black or white. It's shades of gray about how you analyze the team and about the way you go about it. So look, Nick Chubb is going to be a guy that's going to help you out the second part of the year. That's what it is. And that's great, because that's when you take a look at the schedule and you see how the schedule ramps up at the end of the year. You need a good Nick Chubb at that point in time. I'd rather have him at the end of the year peaking and getting healthy when everybody else is declining because of the wear and tear. And that's another reason why Kevin Stefanski is not playing these guys like this. He's not going to run guys into the ground to make you guys feel good about yourselves. Like, hey, let me run my team into the ground so you can look at 10 plays or so to say, oh, at the water cooler, you know what, Joe? I really liked what the Browns offense in the second unit did against the Seahawks. I really feel good about it. It's not about making us feel good. It's about getting the team to a specific point.